He played under the legendary Darrell K. Royal and earned 2 finance degrees at UT. Later, he founded San Antonio's largest full-service real estate development company and developed iconic projects throughout town.
He is smart, and then he can execute.
Next, his ability to bring people together brought about big changes in the Rio Grande Valley, and soon will bring improvements to Texas's biggest treasure, the Alamo.
What hadn't Gene Powell done to affect the community that he lives in?
For his tireless work to make UT in Texas a better place, Gene Powell is deserving of induction into the McCombs Hall of Fame.
I was fortunate enough to find Laddie Denton, another McCombs MBA. And Laddie and I liked each other a lot and got along together, and we decided to form a company, and that company turned into Bitterblue. In 1990, we began to work with a family out of Italy, the Buzzi family that owned Alamo Cement. And they owned a 500-acre quarry, which is today the quarry market.
Gene ended up developing that with his partners to develop the quarry, and it revitalized that area. You know, so many new businesses and restaurants and everything else is, surfaced as a result of that. I would say it's an award-winning development in the United States.
He is smart, and then he can execute. Gene Powell does that to the best of anybody I've ever worked with.
We wanted to plant a larger flag in South Texas. We were able to collectively establish a UT Rio Grande Valley with its medical school, which is now the second largest Hispanic serving institute in America. And for the very first time in the history of South Texas, there are first-year medical students going to school every day there. And all that happened because of the leadership of Mr. Gene Powell.
Now we're going to see the force of the valley as to what it really can do. And it's going to help all of Texas. And Gene Powell was the guy to lead that will make it work.
When you think about the major events that occurred while he was on the Board of Regents and while he was the chairman of the Board of Regents, the Rio Grande Valley got a university, the medical school that's going to be built down there, the Dale Medical Center right here in Austin, Texas, the medical school at the University of Texas. All of those occurred while Gene was on the board or was the chairman.
Poor Gene, he's probably finally, getting used to his recliner, and suddenly he gets a phone call to say, listen, we need you to chair, the Alamo Endowment, Foundation and its management committee.
And I accepted, and my wife was in her office next to my office, and she came to the door and she looked at me and she said, you didn't do that, did you? I didn't hear this right? And I said, well, it's the Alamo. I said, how could I turn down the Alamo?
The restoration of the Alamo, work that's needed to be done to save one of the most iconic buildings, if not the most iconic building in Texas. They went to Gene Powell and said, Gene, will you oversee this project? And one more time, he held up his hand and said, here am I, send me. Gene Powell is a man that belongs in the Red McCombs Hall of Fame because he's a man like Red McCombs. Gene Powell is of the same cast, cast from the same material. This is a man whose core is as solid as the orange stone in his University of Texas Letterman's ring.
Gene Powell is a very, very talented person. He is that good, and he is the ideal kind of guy, I think, that we want representing the Hall of Fame.
The way you accomplish things is through great teamwork and consensus and leadership. And McCombs gave me that, and it's allowed me to gain a great deal of joy out of my work